The first piece of editing that we see in the following extracted casualty is created by both camera work and editing. The shot reverse shot shown suggests that disability is seen as an unfortunate disease and one that we should empathise with.
At least let me get you something decent. I can watch hours passing. Great. Oh, Alex, you can turn up the places on time.
Would you like to try
The next representation here is shown through an eyeline match to show the awkwardness of the relationship between the staff worker and the disabled man.
Insisting we act out It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street all in one afternoon. Come on, let's go. And quit pushing me about. Whoa, fine. Self-centered and angry. Thank you. That's superb. Okay, Alex, look. Let's go for a pit stop.
As the normal able-bodied male states that we should go for a pit stop, it's almost seen as a sarcastic joke on the man in the wheelchair, who of course has wheels. Pit stop used in sports like Formula 1. The next representation of injured/disabled people is seen in the back of the ambulance, with interactions between the wife and husband. He's clearly distressed and asking for help, and then we hear the mother say that Lucy needs me more, which is her child, suggesting to the audience that illnesses are less important than children are.
I'll phone the hospital later.
No, Tommy, please, I need you.
Yeah, well, Lucy needs me more.
Hang on, not too fast. Move closer then.
The next representation of disability in this extract from Casualty is represented by both sound, intertwined with editing, as we see an eyeline match in the mirror, when the disabled man states that this disease is winning. He's shown as weak.
We should switch to drainage bag 24/7. For the sake of the carer.
Clearly here, through facial expressions, you can see that he's upset for himself.
There's no need.
Maybe just thinking about his life. Wishing he could be the able-bodied person the man sitting next to him is.
You've had enough. You should have just said. I've had enough, Adam.
A second eyeline match is then used
This disease is
to
weird.
show that he looks desperate. He's looking into the able man's eyes, suggesting that he needs help. In this extract, we see a vast amount of fast shot reverse shots that are used to show the man gradually getting weaker and weaker before eventually passing out. A long take is eventually used to show the audience that the characters who are seen in the norm as regard his illness as drunken behaviour and don't realise the severity of his problem. Finally, there is then yet another short reverse shot where we see the drunken girls robbing the younger man of his tinsel. This reinforces my earlier representation of stupidity towards his illness. However, finally, in this cafe scene, we see that disability is somewhat accepted by the characters in the scene. Clearly shown by facial expressions in the shot reverse shot, everyone is unfazed by being in the company of a man in a wheelchair and doesn't regard it as awkward or unnatural.
Oh, you bet she's taken. Aren't they all? Still planning for you married women. Jessica? That's just a distraction. I'm over it now. So what do you want to do next? Does Jessica know you have a brother? Want to fetch me a straw?
We then see a second sarcastic comment from the able-bodied man, who says there's still life in the old dog yet, suggesting that the man in the wheelchair isn't as weak as everyone thinks he is, even though we know he is as an audience. Disability is then shown in this scene to be very much as a weakness. An ellipsis is used, connoting to the audience that the younger man is scared, shown through the fast-paced editing created by the ellipsis. As the two thugs approach him, disability is shown as being less and lesser superior in comparison to the norm. Cross-cutting is then used in this scene, as the shot of the man falling down the stairs cuts to the two thugs laughing at him, showing that disabilities are a laughing matter to those who don't have them.
Harvey, crank up the music, would you?
In conclusion, I feel that this clip portrays to the audience that the male characters are predominantly, in normal TV dramas, are seen as physically dominant. However, the three that I have analysed in this clip
Use some mistletoe.
have all been shown as weaker,
See you again soon.
in need,
And what's this?
and desperate.
Right, I've got them.
Very much subverting the usual ways we see men in TV dramas.